Did you see how serious it is for her to be doing our job? Hello, my friends. Today I will tell the story of Natalia Z, the Russian woman who developed Rhinophyma, a skin tumor of the nose and cheeks. Natalia's face became deformed and she isolated herself when she stopped leaving the house. When she thought all was lost while seeking treatment and participating in a TV show, she managed to make a full recovery, and the result was incredible, far beyond all her expectations and dreams. But before this video starts, please, so you don't forget, click like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Natalia Z is 55 years old and lives in Izhevsk, the capital of Udmurtia in Russia. Natalia's problems started in her youth. Like many teenagers, Natalia developed pimples, which she constantly squeezed. At some point, she apparently contracted an infection. It all started around the age of 19, right after finishing school. The pimples started to grow and were inflamed all the time, and I started squeezing them, and overall I just couldn't stop anymore. Every day, every morning, the pimples would build up for a long time, and after many years, they grew to surreal sizes. Natalia said, "Around my early 20s, I was still trying to do something. I would go to clinics, but the verdict was always that a long treatment would be necessary. Here in Izhevsk, no one would take responsibility for it. They would just send me to Moscow. And so I couldn't go there to get the treatment done," Natalia added. Natalia then developed a disease known as Rhinophyma. Rhinophyma is a skin disease. It causes excessive growth and deformation of the skin on the nose, making it large, irregular, and with a bulbous tip. It's an advanced stage of rosacea and causes hypertrophy of the sebaceous glands and connective tissue. It can lead to significant cosmetic deformities and, in severe cases, breathing problems. Considered a slow-progressing disease, the condition develops gradually over several years. Treatment usually involves surgery, such as electrosurgical dermabrasion or laser removal, and it can bring excellent results. The nose becomes bulbous, with thick, oily skin, visible blood vessels and redness, and sometimes deformities. Rhinophyma most often affects men aged 50 or older and usually affects the tip and lower two-thirds of the nose. But unfortunately, Natalia developed it when she was still very young. Each year the Rhinophyma grew, disfiguring her face even more. A little later, excess weight added to her problems. Natalia simply ignored her problems, preferring to spend her time in front of the television. Nothing worked out for me in life. No family, no children. Natalia, when she was single and spent most of her time only with her sister and mother. For 30 years, this woman lived with a huge atypical Rhinophyma on her face. It was 30 years of stares. When Natalia turned 55, she rarely left the house. She was ashamed of her own face, which was covered with Rhinophyma, a benign tumor on the skin of the nose and cheeks. I gave up on myself. I stopped going out. If you knew how many stares I get, so many different kinds, it's very hard to live. "I want to isolate myself from everyone," said Natalia at the time. By the way, it was Natalia's sister, Tatiana, who filled out the application for her to participate in the medical program. After several qualifying rounds, she was selected. There, standing at 1.62 meters tall and weighing 136 kilograms, she ended up being diagnosed with obesity and diabetes by the doctors on the show. Despite these diagnoses, the doctors performed the surgery on Natalia. Before that, Natalia had lost several kilos and was taking the medication prescribed by the doctors. The Russian reconstructive surgeon, candidate of medical sciences, and associate professor Dmitry Melnikov led the surgical procedure on Natalia. In addition to Dmitry, the plastic and maxillofacial surgeon Alexander Glusko worked on Natalia's transformation. The surgical procedures lasted for hours. Dr. Alexander Glusko and I started to solve this problem step by step. Basically, the first stage of the operation consisted of completely removing the growth. What did we do? And we cleaned about a third during the surgery. The surface of the nose was cleared of these growths, and later we were already observing the tissue's reaction and its healing, said Dr. Dimitri. By the second operation, we were already much more confident. We did it quickly, and overall there were no doubts, because in the first stage, of course, we had doubts. You don't really know what you're going to encounter. How will the patient's body react to the surgical procedure? How will it heal? Will there be bleeding or not? But again, overall, everything went well. We also worked more extensively on the nose. We retransplanted some of the remaining tissues, and after that we removed those formations on the cheeks and corrected the surgical site, Dr. Melnikov added. She recovered very well. The healing occurred without any problems. In fact, contrary to our expectations, because I repeat, she has underlying medical conditions, diabetes, hypertension, etc. She received the appropriate treatment. We also feared this moment that things wouldn't work out, but nevertheless, everything went perfectly, Dr. Glusko added. At first, I didn't recognize myself and I was a little scared. The stitches, the color, the swelling. But the result was the most surprising thing for me, said Natalia when she saw herself in the mirror for the first time after the surgery. Even though the doctors were young, for some reason, I immediately felt that they would do everything right. They touched my soul and my heart, and that's exactly how it happened. They became like family, people very dear to me. I can only be grateful for everything they did. Plastic surgeons Melnikov and Glusko saved my life, said Natalia emotionally. Natalia underwent another procedure to correct her face, performed by the same surgeons. Dr. Glusko posted photos of Natalia's impressive transformation on his social media, showing the incredible result. After all the wounds had healed, Natalia was invited to return for her transformation. The famous makeup artist Serdar Kambarov gave her such a big makeover that she was literally impressed with herself. I've never been like this before. It's breathtaking, said Natalia. Thank you for your courage and grace. Working with Natalia was a personal honor and a great personal satisfaction, said the makeup artist Serdar. Everyone says how good I look. The vendors, taxi drivers, doormen, people in the store, on the street, they come up to me and everyone says they're happy for me, that everyone just doesn't recognize me. I started socializing more because before I used to spend a lot of time in front of the mirror putting on makeup just to be able to go out. But now it only takes 5 minutes and I'm ready to go anywhere. I even got my first kiss, Natalia celebrated. This woman's before and after is amazing, don't you think? If you also enjoyed seeing how Natalia turned out after the procedures, click like. To strengthen our work in showing real stories of resilience and hope to more and more people. Thank you and see you next time.
Assista ao vídeo indicado.
Watch the dubbed video. Mira el video doblado.吹き替え版の動画を見てね. شاهد الفيديو المدبلج. 더빙된 영상 봐. Regarde la vidéo doublée. Schau dir das synchronisierte Video an. Guarda il video doppiato. Смотри дублированное видео. Dub kia hua video deko. Dublaj the video yu izle. Tonton video yang sudah didubbing.